Hi, everybody. What if you could finish a lab report in hours instead of days without sacrificing quality? There are three secrets to report writing. So, number one, steal a good template. Number two, streamline and automate, if possible, the data collection. We're going to talk more about that. And three, simplify your writing style. I'll talk about at the end as well. So when you're trying to create a report, the first thing you need to do is make sure you have a really good template. The best thing to do is steal the template. Don't create your own. Never create your own. Steal somebody else's template and then edit it. Make it better. Use it for what you need to use it for. In terms of content, what should be in a report template? The first thing we look at and the last thing we look at are probably the most important. If you have a 100-page report, you're going to read the whole entire thing? No, you're going to skim it. You start with the beginning. What is the purpose? What is the scope of the audit report or the lab test report or the clinical evaluation report, whatever kind of report it is? No matter how long it is, you're going to read the beginning. Then you're going to go to the end. What's the conclusion? What are the results and conclusion, that discussion at the end? All the analysis of the data in the middle and how you did it, those are details. So you're going to read the beginning and the end. You're going to focus on those, and then you might go back and look at some of the details in the middle. Okay. Now that you've got a report template, you've stolen that, you've edited it the way you want it, and you have the various sections, and I am going to share a couple of templates with you. Now you need to figure out, how am I going to collect that data to put in the report? So here are some data collection methods for you. Number one, when I am collecting data, if I'm in a meeting, let's say I'm in a teleconference, it's a design review meeting or a risk management meeting, or it's a meeting with the FDA for a pre-submission. No matter what it is, if I can use Read AI transcription, that's fantastic. Now, FDA doesn't allow us to record that, but I don't have time to type everybody's name, especially when they got a name this long that I've never seen before, and it's a little itty bitty tiny print on the screen. So what do? I do a quick screen capture with my computer of the faces with the names, and I slap it onto my document that I'm working on, usually a Google Doc. And then later, when I'm writing the report, about 20 minutes later or half hour later, whatever the time is at the end of the meeting, I can gather all those names. I also try to get the names of the attendees ahead of time so I can pre-write my report wherever I can. So anytime you can pre-write something, do that. That will actually streamline your data collection. So if I know I need data A, data B, data C, and I want to organize it in a certain way, then design your data collection form that way. If I'm going to ask a question, I'm going to interview somebody, whether it's an audit report or it's an FDA meeting, in the slides, I highlight the part that I'm going to put into my report as the question, and then what they give me is the answer after that. So I'm just typing the answers and putting like number one, number two, number three, but I know I just copy the highlighted stuff. Maybe it's a blue text or purple text. I copy that, that's number one. Copy that, that's number two. And then right below it is my notes from the meeting. And I'm typing as fast as I can, but if it's not an FDA meeting, then I can also use voice transcription. So I'll use Read AI. Some people use Otter. Some people use Firefly. It doesn't matter what you use. You just don't want to have to be as fast a typist as I am. If you can't type 130 words a minute, that's okay. Use transcription, and it will summarize it for you, and it'll give you action items. So now you've got just copy and paste out of the Read AI right into the place right underneath that bullet point. And if you read verbatim exactly what your question was that you had highlighted in color, then you can search for that in the transcription and jump right to the section where the part you want to copy and paste is found. So that's another way to streamline. You don't want to scroll down the thing. Let's say you had an hour and a half meeting. Let's say you were there all day and did 8 hours. Now is it video 1, video 2, video 3? Because if you're going to transcribe, you only got like an hour at a time that you can transcribe. So hunt for the question word for word, read your questions word for word. That way it's easy to find them, and then copy the text there, drop it in, do editing later. Just try to get it all in the report as quickly as you can. If you are doing other things, like you're working in a lab and you're collecting information, anytime you can download the information directly from the device, do that. You don't want to have to hand transcribe stuff. A lot of tools now, they'll have little cables that connect them, and you just press a button and it downloads the data to a form. That's really helpful. So figure out how you can collect the data and organize your report that way. Don't come up with a really cool way to design the report and that doesn't match up with the data collection. Figure out the most efficient way to collect your data and organize that data collection so it goes right in the report as is, with as little manipulation as possible. That's key to make it go faster. Now, there's another trick that I learned long, long ago, hands-free. I worked as a microbiologist in pharmaceutical and biotech research, and when you're a microbiologist, you have to keep everything aseptic. You can't contaminate these microbes because they'll die, and other things that you don't want to grow will grow. Maybe it's a pathogen, so it's dangerous to let anything else grow or anything touch it. So you got to work with your hands. Maybe you have gloves on, and you're trying to manipulate these things very carefully. And it's like this, and you got both hands. Where are you going to write? You're going to put everything down and write notes? No, that's not going to happen. I was experimenting in the 90s with the early versions of voice transcription software, digital recorders, so I could transcribe it myself because I type real fast. You can do that. But now, why would you bother? The technology is so advanced. Just set your laptop on the computer or on the bench next to wherever you're doing the experiment. Set up a simple webcam, 4K or not, just hit record on that baby, and yes, it's a meeting of one, but you can run your read AI, you can transcribe everything you want. And behind the camera, you can put a little checklist. Make it a big checklist. Use like 11 by 17 paper, laminate it, put pictures on it. Step 1, picture 1. Step 2, picture 2. Step 3, picture 3. Now you got pictures telling, okay, these are the steps, and you can make sure you do it the same way every time. It's for you, not for somebody else. You only need enough detail in your pictorial instructions to help you. This is what I need to do step by step. And as you're doing it, you talk out loud. Okay, I'm performing step 1 with this organism. I'm performing step 2. Okay, now I'm going on to the next step with a different organism. Now the third organism. You might have a strain number, and you list off the strain number. Let's say you're working in a lab and you're doing peel testing on packaging. The most boring thing in the world. I got to cut it 1 inch, and then I got to put it in the jaws, and I hit start, and I read the force gauge, and I record the data. Well, make sure you pay a little extra money to get the downloads of the data so you don't have to write all that. So it's digital, number 1. Number 2, if you're going to do all this, you got to cut, you got to set up the jaws. Do yourself a favor and set up a webcam and record. Okay, now I'm doing this sample for this lot number. Now I'm doing this sample for this lot number. If there was anything that was abnormal, in my notes, I like to put little symbols and stuff to help me find important information, like this specimen failed, or this specimen was unusual. Well, say those things to the camera. This specimen failed. No problem. Now, when you look back at the AI transcription, you just search for the word failed, and you find it right away. Okay, these are the failures. That's what people want to know. Where are the failures? Everything else passed, great. If there were no failures, you never come up with the word failure in the AI transcription. So that really helps to come up with some keys in advance. I'm going to use this information. I'm always going to say, what is the specimen? What is the lot? What is the testing method? What are the settings maybe at the beginning of the recording? And was it a pass or a fail? So pass, fail, pass, fail. Say that, and it'll be in the transcription. No hands. Now, if you want our templates, like I said, steal Shamelessly. We're going to share them to you on Google Drive. I like to do it there because now we can imagine you can have multiple people writing the report at the exact same time. We can fly through these reports. Imagine you have 3 different people on your team, All three of them are using AI transcription reports, pasting them into the same Google document, editing them, copying and pasting in pictures from the 4K video, and then maybe downloading some data from the testing instrument. You can create over 1,000 words a minute. Yeah, over 1,000 words a minute can be created like that by a team. And people are amazed, like, you can do 6,000 page documents for the FDA and you can do it this fast. Well, first of all, the clients are giving us the test reports and we create the submission. But they can create stuff really fast too if they use these methods for report writing. So maybe some people take months creating a report or weeks creating a report. We want hours. You want to have hours because you should be able to create 1,000 words a minute with a 3-person team and the right ways to collect data and the right tools for sharing the report in using templates. So do it that way. It's faster and easier. Now, where are you going to find our report templates? Here we go. So this one is a lab test report. This is using the FDA guidance. And at the very end, I actually give you the reference to the free PDF that the FDA gives on how to create a test report that is a non-clinical benchtop test report. If you're not doing an FDA submission, this is still a good template. It has statistical analysis in there. It has a lot of best practices. The FDA didn't reinvent the wheel. They stole shamelessly. They took best practices on how to write a report and said, this is what should be in your report. So if you're doing any kind of scientific measurement for an engineering report, this is a great place to start. Can you steal some other one? Absolutely. But figure out what the source is. Don't just ask ChatGPT. It's not reliable. You need to do fact checking on ChatGPT. But if you steal shamelessly from a reasonable, trusted source and edit that to your needs, that'll be a great starting place for your report. Now, we have another template for you. So let me remove that one and share this one instead. So this is our audit report template. When you are writing an audit report, and we do auditing all the time, especially doing remote audits, you want to have that in Google Docs. You want to both people being able to write the report at the same time. You want to share information between the auditors, like, hey, they have this piece of machinery. Can you check the calibration on this? Can you check the maintenance on this? Can you check this person's training record? You can put it in the section where that person's going to be doing the audit. You had a template. You had a schedule. These are the processes they're going to audit. When they get to calibration, look up this, and this equipment ID. When you get to validation, look up this report. Maybe the CAPA. Go look at this CAPA because it has remediation of this problem. Those are all really great things you can share between the two people as you're writing the audit report, and it will go so fast. I developed this unconsciously while I was writing reports every single day, 5 days a week for 3.5 years. And I just had a system like, this is the first thing I asked, second thing I asked, third thing, fourth thing, through 7 different things that I'd ask. Then I would list what the records were that were sampled. Then I would have my conclusions. What are the opportunities for improvement? What are the nonconformities? And then it's effective or it's not. This is not a creative writing course. It does not need to be interesting. It needs to be factual and short. Nobody is going to give you extra money for a longer report. Oh, yeah, that's impressive, but I'm not reading it. If I had more time, I'd write a shorter letter, is what they say. But if you had a better template and you had better data collection methods, then you wouldn't need to spend more time. You could sit back and read a book. I hope you got this. Now, if you're going to steal our templates, make sure you tell us in the comments below, why did you steal it and who did you share it with? Or just share it with them and don't tell us. But make sure you tell us why you stole it and share it with a friend. See you next week.